Hi all, this is Solo, and in today's video we will be covering the most highest DPS, in my opinion, Digimon for Mega Plus difficulty. These will be specifically for DPS, not really a team comp, but more for DPS, and then you build your team comp around these Digimon. So there is a specific reason I use these Digimon, and we'll go over that, and then afterwards we will go into a tier list and I will put them on a tier list. So first of all, there is a reason I use these specific Digimon. These Digimon are Chronomon HM, Mastermon, my favorite Digimon, and Chronomon DM. Okay, these three alone are incredibly potent, and they actually have something that most other Digimon do not have. That happens to be a specific type of skill. So when you see these skills, which are special skills, they have nullifies unfavorable compatibility. That means that they ignore resistances. Okay? Let me just let that sink in. So if they're ignoring the resistances, these attacks, the damage they do ignores all resistances regardless if they're resistant to it or not. Okay, so we have Chronomon DM has fire damage that has AoE that ignores all resistances to fire. We have Mastermon. Mastermon is single target damage, but is high to single target damage. It nullifies unfavorable compatibility, so it ignores a defense to dark and increases damage to enemies with the holy trait. Also, Mastermon is resistant against light and dark elements as well. Chronomon actually is resistant against no element, but is actually not weak against any element either. It's just like pure neutral across the board. The only thing it's weak against is vaccine. Chronomon HM is the same in terms of resistances. It's not actually weak against anything in terms of elemental resistances, but instead of doing the Holy Flame as the nullifier, it actually does light damage as a nullifier with 110 single target damage, and it always hits and it nullifies light resistance. So it is completely void. It doesn't matter what resistances you have in light, it will always do with damage without resistance, basically. The difference between Chronomon HM and Chronomon DM is not only their attacks, but when Chronomon does his darker damage, his dark single target damage, 100% chance to apply crystallization, 70% chance for 20% reduction in attack, defense, intelligence, and SPI. If the target is 50% or higher HP, it actually does increase damage as well. This is in a single attack. And with Chronomon HM, every AoE spam he does with Holy Flare, it removes status buffs from the enemy, okay? So last video on the healers, I was talking about stats buffs. This actually removes all stats buffs in an AoE wide attack. Really, really strong. And obviously with Holy Despair as well, with Mastermon, she has 100% reduction, 100% chance of reduction of light resistances. That obviously stacks with Chronomon's heavy damage. Reducing the resistances might increase the damage. Even though it ignores resistances, if it has less resistances, it might do more damage. So that's one of my main setups. My second main setups is actually quite strange. It's actually a combo. So we're going off Grace Novamon. I use him as a support healer, but he's actually really, really strong as well in terms of actual attack. So this specifically, right? So if a target is affected by status anomalies, disease, or injury, increased damage, and it also increases damage to enemies with the fire trait. Why is that important? Well, that's important because of Lilithmon. Okay? So her attack does AoE spam, performs dark magic attack power 55, but 100% chance to apply deadly poison and injury. So what is injury? Injury actually stops them from healing. So just think about that. You already have a 100% chance to apply deadly poison. It also applies injury, so they cannot heal. Okay, so they can't heal themselves because of injury. Increases damage against deity units as well, but that actually stacks. So you apply deadly poison, you apply injury. Okay, and then he does his attack, and it does extra damage because he's got injury and because he's got poison. Okay, so his damage just goes up because there's a deadly poison and injury on the target. The target is deadly poison, which takes damage over time, about 3,000 damage per turn, and he cannot heal himself because of the injury as well. But then we're going to stack it again. We've got Lotusmon, okay? So she's really, really good. She's obviously, these are all support healers as well, like second healers. So she's similar to Venusmon in a sense, but she has AoE spam of light attack, a power of 55, 20% chance to apply chaos. Chaos obviously stacks with our other Digimon here, Grace Novamon, with this attack as well. And increases damage against enemies with a pixie trait. Also, it can do, Lotusmon can do 100% chance of a 30% reduction in defense and SPI for 3 turns. So you lose your ability to recover as much because of 30% reduction on SPI, and you also take more damage because of the defense reduction for 30% for 3 turns. This is only a 1 target enemy, but it's good against bosses. And then we have something that's like Venusmon, but it's a single target. Recovers HP based on user's SPI. So obviously if your SPI is 9999, it's the best it can be in terms of healing. And 100% chance of 20% boost of intelligence for 3 turns. So when she heals, she also has a 20% boost of your intelligence as well for 3 turns. But that's not all, okay? So obviously we're doing healing as well. And obviously we have 30% chance to boost speed, 30% chance increase crit rate for 3 turns as well. But that's not all. So we obviously gave her the Great Embrace, which is the overheal, so she can overheal her targets up to 20,000 HP if they have 9999 health, which these all do. I have gave him chance to activate the skill again when using a magic skill. Okay, so the lower your HP, the higher the chance. But obviously, because these are both magic skills, there's a chance that it activates twice. Okay, so it does a double attack per go. There's a chance of that happening. And with her, I've actually put her first in line. This means she always acts first. Why is this important? Because we get this off as well. Not only does it do deadly poison and injury, it stops them from healing. You actually get that first, which then can actually make Grace's Novamon, his attack does more damage straight away. So it's really important for her to go first. In terms of the passive skills for this guy here, the Chronomon DM, he recovers HP equal to 10% of physical skill damage dealt. Because Holy Flare is a physical damage, it does 10% of the physical damage back as HP. So it's basically leech life, right? So that's just a bit of sustain as well. And then we got Novamon. Sorry, not Novamon, Mastermon. If she dies, she recovers instantly with 50% HP once per fight. That's really, really helpful. If you just get one shot accidentally, you can then go and X Revive and X Aura and Magic Reflect and Attack Reflect as well. And then we have Chronomon HM, which I have give him chance of activating the skill again when using a magic attack. Because if you get the chance to do it twice, that means you can do a fire attack, AoE spam, but it removes stats buffs as well. So just in case you miss an enemy, you get a second chance to hit that enemy and remove all the stats buffs, okay? So it's really, really strong and really, really, really good in terms of the actual attacks and the damage and how the team sort of works together. Obviously, Venusmon needs to be included in this. This has not got Venusmon in it. As you can see, I just got one shot instantly, which is super annoying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna summon Lilithmon, and as you see, this is obviously Mega Plus difficulty because I'm getting one shot by the rookies. Let's just do my art. Let's go with that. Okay, we give them some overshield and stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to do Phantom Pain. Instantly reduces them, makes them so they are poisoned and injured, so they can't heal. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you Dark Despair. Dark Despair is obviously with the unfavorable compatibility, so they don't have any resistance against Dark, regardless if they have a resistance or not. It bypasses resistances. So let's go with this guy with only 100%. Yeah, let's go with this guy with only 100%. How much damage does it do? Let's see. 1300 damage, even though it's only 100%, which is normal damage, right? Then we're going to go with, probably going to go with X Revive, get Chronomon back up, just in case. And what we're going to do is we are going to do... Let's switch her out now. Let's change her to Chronomon.
I'm counting on you.
Right, we switched to make the Chronomon. And then what we're going to do is Chronomon, let's do this one. So it does, obviously, it nullifies any resistances to fire, but it does normal damage. And Holy Flare. We do Holy Flare now. Boom. We're doing like 7 to 10k damage straight up on Mega Plus difficulty. Obviously, that's really, really good because the damage is actually really hard to do on Mega Plus. Obviously, everything's got super high defense. And what do I mean by that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. This is a in-training Digimon. In-training Digimon and a rookie Digimon. See how much damage they're doing, right? Let's just switch to him. And what? Oh, 2 of them died. Okay, let's go Lotusmon.
Please?
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to analyze these. This guy has 9999 attack, 9999 intelligence, okay? And that is the rookie version. And now we're going to go over to this guy here. This guy is in training 2. This is like what you normally start up at level 1. He has 9999 attack and 9999 intelligence. Okay, so in Mega Plus difficulty, there's at least 2 stats of every Digimon that is maxed out. So this is why you get one shot a lot, okay? So this is why it's incredibly important to make sure you can overheal and make sure... let's go X Revive. Make sure you have X Revive as well. There's any... And now we should be able to do this attack because they've both got poison and injury. We should be able to do double damage to them. Yeah, and you can see we do 4 to 5, about 6,000 damage. And with that deadly poison, it does about 2,000 damage per turn as well. Every turn they after their attack. And let's just the Lotusmon, just heal him. We just healed 11,000 with Lotusmon, really, really good. But you definitely need a Venusmon in for that team heal. But this is just obviously going to go for the DPS side of things. Putting this with Venusmon, 1,500 damage there. That was really strong as well. And yeah, that's just a rookie and an in-training Digimon on Mega Plus difficulty. So you definitely need to make sure you have the right team comp. And in terms of DPS, these are obviously my Digimon. I definitely recommend the Chronomon. Make sure you max him out though, because as you can see, he's not maxed out. I only maxed out his attack out, and that's why I got one shot. I need to max out my defense. My defense is way too low on both of these. They both need to be 9999 to even survive. Yeah, so make sure you do that. Really important you max out your stats as well. But in terms of the actual attack and stuff like that, really, really strong. Double S, like the top in my opinion. These 3 are by far the top damage dealers in the game in my opinion. And these 3 are really, really good in terms of making sure you put down them debuffs and, you know, making sure your enemies don't heal. That's really important in Mega Plus difficulty, because if they heal, they probably get a full heal as well, because obviously their stats are maxed out as well, remember. Right, so what we're going to do now, I'm just going to rank these on the tier maker. So we're now going to go over to the tier maker and I will rank them as, yeah, let's go. Right, we're in a tier maker. So first thing I didn't include in the actual video was Justimon. So we go Justimon first. Justimon is also another S tier. He does lightning damage and paralyzation as well. He is very similar to the other Digimon I had before, like Grace Novamon. He's very similar in the sense that he does extra damage based on debuffs. He is probably, in my opinion, he's probably A tier. A tier. He's nearly up there. He's like an A plus. He's just not double. He's not S tier, dude. So both the Chronomons are S tier. Simply because the fact they obviously nullify resistance. They basically ignore resistances, and they are incredibly strong. Obviously, I need to increase my defenses on my ones to max them out. You do need max stats on Mega Plus difficulty because even rookie Digimon, like I said on the video, even rookie Digimon have max stats now. But they're really, really good. Any team comp you have, if you have at least one of these in your team comp, you're going to be really, really, really good in terms of damage. And the fact that they remove stats buffs from the enemies as well, and they're offensive as well, is really, really important. Really, really good. Mastermon, I'm kind of biased in terms of Mastermon because one, she's my favorite Digimon, and two, she's resistant against light and dark, which is quite a high amount of Digimon you face in terms of bosses are light and dark. So it's really good to have resistance against that. And not only that, she has a very high um, attack in terms of she nullifies the defense of darkness, and obviously she has a similar attack to these two. um, she's probably like S minus, and these are like S plus, right? She's slightly below these two because obviously these two do not have any weaknesses in terms of elemental weaknesses. They're like just neutral across the board. She doesn't. Obviously, she's strong against light and dark, but she also has weaknesses. So she's probably like S minus in terms of ranks, and these are like S plus, right? Um, so in terms of Grace Novamon, he's A. He works really, really well, but you have to have a team comp with him. He's a good sub healer as well. But he only works if you can get like the stats debuffs to work with him. Same as this guy here, same as Jupitermon. Same as Jupitermon. You have to have the stats debuffs for him to do extra damage. So that's why they're in A tier. A plus, you know what I mean? In terms of Lilithmon, she's probably one of the best virus Digimon in the game. Um, her stats, her stats are by far her stat debuffs. Basically, she can dish out the poison, and the fact she can dish out 100% guaranteed chance every time of deadly poison. It's like 3,000 damage every other or every turn to enemy attacks. Also increases the chance of killing the opponent because inflicting injury makes them not heal. So basically, because they don't heal themselves, that's just a massive bonus for you. So in my opinion, she's she's probably above these two, right? Just because these two can't really work. Justimon can work because he can affect the debuff himself, but then he loses a turn doing it. She's incredibly potent, and she can be a sub healer as well. It's just she's very, very good, right? So Lotosmon or Lotosmon. She's she's probably at the back of the pack, right? She does have the shred enemies debuff aspect, which reduces the SP and the defense by 30%. That's the reason why she's an A tier, in my opinion. She's like an A minus, I think. She's probably the lowest here, but she does have that debuff effect of 30% less SP and defense, which is massive against some of the higher enemies. In Mega Plus difficulty, everything's high. So she really is a valuable asset to the team because that 30% reduction of 10,000, that's like 3,000 defense reduced. So that is quite a big hit. She also boosts allies when she heals by boosting their intelligence as well by 20%. I don't know if it goes over the 9999 threshold. I don't know if it does. I don't think it does. So I don't know how valuable that is if you are using Digimon that are maxed out already, right? And she also has obviously the heals, and she can obviously put in her other ability slots that she can be revive, and she can be a sub healer as well. I think she's really, really good. But in my opinion, as they are listed here from left to right, these are S plus. This is probably S minus, right? I would say Lilithmon is A plus. I don't know. I think Jupitermon's probably A plus. Then we have Novamon, which is A, and then we have an A minus, or maybe an I don't know if it's an A or an A minus for Lotusmon. But basically, these guys here, in terms of DPS, are absolutely insane. The status debuffs as well that help your team comp as well really, really work well. And these two, like Novamon and Jupitermon, get really high damage once you inflict them status debuffs to give them the extra damage on top, right? In terms of these two here, the Chronomons, it's just because they basically straight up ignore resistances and just do straight up solid damage. And the fact they can remove enemies' stats, buffs, make them incredibly, incredibly potent. But yeah, that's my tier list for what I think is probably the best damage dealers in the game. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other Digimon that you think would beat these guys. But I mean, if you added something like Venusmon into that mix of a healer and get that overhealed, get them 20,000 HP, I think it'd be an extremely good team comp. But but yeah, in terms of DPS, I think this is probably the team I will go for. But let me know in the comments below what you think with all the other Digimon here. And yeah, if you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.